All right, good morning, traders. Today is December 4th, 2023. My SPY pivot this morning, 456.88. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. The Fab Five, that's SPY, QQQ, DIA, IWM, and FNGU. They still remain in daily uptrends, made higher highs on their daily charts. That's why they're in daily uptrends. Now, they may be pulling back today or yesterday, but let me just say diamonds are making new yearly highs on their daily chart. Silver and gold continue to rally their uptrends, and they're acting overly bullish. UNG and USO remain in daily downtrends as UNG inks out a slightly lower low on Friday. U.S. dollar index retraces back to the 103.50 level again this morning. Light week for economic data releases and notable speeches. SPY's next target higher is 461.35. We are in the selling territory, so we'll see what happens. All right. So remember, below 456.88, I'm a bear. All right, so here's SPY. It's a daily candle for Friday. Higher low, higher high. Nice big candle. See this thin line right here? This is our weekly downtrend line. You can see they're kind of breaking through that. We'll see if they can close above that sometime today. We'll see where they close. Right now, they're gapping down a little bit in the pre-market, but it's just getting started, so we'll see where they want to take it, if they want to take it higher. So there's SPY. And we've got a high and a higher high, puts it in a daily uptrend. So let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ, not quite as strong as SPY. QQQ putting in an inside day with slightly higher low, slightly lower high. So a little bit of pullback here in QQQ. Still in a daily uptrend. Here's our high. QQQ is made a higher high, so it's still in a daily uptrend. FNGU. FNGU pulling back a little bit more than QQQ. So FNGU making a lower low and a lower high. FNGU is traded and closed on Friday below the T line there. Something to make a note of. Now let's take a look at Diamond Dow. FNGU in a daily uptrend. There's the last high, made a higher high, so it's in a daily uptrend. So let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Here's Diamond Dow. Wow. Much different than the other three there, okay? So you can see we possibly got a little one candle low right there. That would be a higher low. If not, you want to count it. You don't want to count it. Here's the last high. You can see we made a higher high. Nonetheless, it's in a daily uptrend, making that higher high. So there's Diamond Dow. You can see yesterday's candle puts in a higher low and a higher high. So something's firing on all cylinders there in Diamond Dow. So you can see that puts in a new yearly high for Diamond Dow. And they are attacking the all-time highs right up there at 463.07. All-time highs are at 469.56, roughly thereabouts. Let's go back to IWM. Let's take a look at IWM. Here's IWM putting in a monster candle right here on Friday. All right, so we got IWM making a higher low and a higher high, makes it in a daily uptrend. Price action for Friday made a lower low, but also a higher high. Now, take a look at our T indicators because we got a little bit of divergence here. All right, so we've got, here's our T indicators for Friday, had us way up here in the nosebleeds, all the way up here in the overbought zone, way up there. Okay, so if we look at it on the T2123, that was the T2122. T2123 had us green all day. Notice we're green all day. Now let's take a look at FNGU. Well, let's just look at this real quick. Okay, so now we got some space opening up, and we got a falling 200 here in the T2123. So you get a lot of space between the trend indicator and the price action. And that's the 3-bar chart. So let's take a look at FNGU. Now notice FNGU's price action really, if you look at it, really it just closed just a little bit under where it left off the previous day. So SPY, if FNGU, which is pretty much has the same heavyweights as the components in the FNGU, should have pretty much the same price action as FNGU. But here we had our first divergence, because if we go back and look at the SPY, we'll see that the SPY put in a nice green candle to the upside, and that was all courtesy of the IWM putting in this candle, because typically the heavyweights dominate the SPY action, but here the mid caps and small caps were able to carry the SPY up there to new recent highs anyways, right there. And that was just from the mid caps. Let me go back to them real quick. Here we are. Just from the mid caps in the IWM, that would be the Russell 2000. Normally, we do not see that. Normally, wherever FNGU goes, so goes the SPY, because there's such heavyweights in there. So that was a little bit of divergence there. FNGU falling, but IWM rising, and then we had the SPY also rising. Typically, the SPY just follows wherever FNGU goes. So that was a little bit of divergence there yesterday on Friday. Maybe it'll correct itself sometime today. We'll see what happens. All right, let's take a look at some other industries. All right, we'll take a look at USO. So here's USO. That's crude oil. You can see crude oil for Friday puts in a lower high and a lower low. I'm guessing OPEC didn't have anything nice to say because things did not turn around. So USO remains in a daily downtrend. Wait, it remains in an uptrend, technically, because it made a higher low and a higher high on the daily chart. All right, so technically, but I still count it, couldn't hold that high. But I still view it as a daily downtrend because it couldn't hold that high. So therefore, we've got lower highs and lower lows. We just haven't got this lower low yet. You can see we just inked it out for just, it was in a day trend, a daily uptrend for about probably 30, 40 minutes up there, and then it came back down. So USO, kind of questionable here, just consolidating on the 70.65 level. UNG inks out a slightly lower low and puts in an equal high. So UNG pointed down, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs and lower lows, put it in a daily downtrend. So back to USO. Technically, we did make a higher high, but we couldn't hold it, so I'm going to keep it in a daily downtrend, just so you know that. SLV puts in a higher low and a higher high in an uptrend with higher lows and higher highs right there. Gold, doing about the same thing. Got higher lows and higher highs. Yesterday's candle, higher low, higher high. Nice takeoff there for gold. See if they get any follow through sometime today. All right, so let's take a look at IYT. That's our transports. Wow, they had a nice candle right there. I'm sure that was a lot of participation from the Russell 2000 right there. So there's IYT climbing back into the uptrend here with almost an inverse head and shoulders. It's hard to see it, We got like a 1 candle low right here. That's about it. And then you got that inverse head and shoulders. But IYT on a daily uptrend, last high, higher high, puts it in a daily uptrend. Trying to climb back into this uptrend line. We'll see what it does today. If it can hold it up here, that would be cool. We'll see what happens. SMH. SMH just consolidating here over the 160 level. Right on top of minor support. See these two humps over here to the left? That's your minor support, those two humps. Okay, so SMH consolidating on minor support. That's a good sign for the bulls. All right, big move up, and now we're just consolidating. So you got yourself a bull flag there on the SMH in a daily uptrend with a high, making higher highs, puts it in a daily uptrend. Let's take a look at XLF. XLF, nice chart there. Price action for XLF, higher low, higher high, in a daily uptrend because it made a high here and now it's making a higher high. So we got XLF in a daily uptrend. Nice ride up there. Wow. Let's see if it can hold this area up here over 36, 35.97. See if it can hold this area up here at 36. All right, so there's XLF. Now let's take a look at the dollar index. So here we are with the dollar index. And you can see here's July low. Then we rally up to the September high. And then we consolidated in a bull flag. Then we fell out of the bull flag. And you can see we came down here and touched some minor support. That's these wicks, these humps right here, this hump. And this hit some minor support. Now we're back at the flat 200. Right now, price is trading about 103.35. It was up there around 103.50 earlier this morning. So there's a U.S. dollar index. All right, so got to keep an eye on that one as well. All right, so now for the calendar for today, we've got factory orders at 10 a.m. And that's it. For tomorrow, PMI composite, ISM services, the JOLTS, and a Fed speaker. And we've got an ADP report, productivity and cost. So really light week here. I don't see anything special popping up unless we've got Chairman Powell's going to speak again. I don't know, but right now everything's looking for a light week, so I don't see any changes in market conditions. I expect it to probably just consolidate. We'll see what happens. For the earnings calendar for this morning, we've got no real notables right here. 7 billion, 9 billion, not quite enough to move markets around. And there's the notable, and there's the notables, and there's not any. So BHP is going to report on Tuesday. I thought they were supposed to report last week, but and they don't know what time. 46 billion for AutoZone. That's about the biggest one here. And BHP, we're really not sure about them. They can't come up with a date or a time. Wednesday, see if we got Brown and Foreman. They're pretty good. So they've got about 50 billion there between the two, A and B. And Campbell Soup is 12 billion. Not much happening there. Broadcom, AVGO, $382 billion right there, almost $500 billion. All right. It's going to report in the evening on Thursday. That'll definitely move the market some. All right. So that's about those are the big ones. Broadcom, Lululemon, and General Dollar. So we got 28 billion, 50 billion, and about 380 billion right there. So the big day is going to be Thursday. Should be consolidation all the way up until Thursday. We'll see what happens. All right, that's it for this morning. Right now, we'll see where we're going to go. We're going to look for price action to come down to the pivot, see if it bounces off the pivot, and we'll go from there. All right? Any questions? Post them up in the chat room. If not, I'll see the rest of you guys on YouTube at 4 p.m. for the evening wrap-up.